That was more just so I had like a marker of, hey, I finished this mission. I might want to try to cut the video there. Okay, so next mission. A general's best friend. I am not reading that. If you guys really want to know all the text with these missions, you can look it up. But yeah, no, I have absolutely no desire to read through all of that stuff. And let's see, it's one jump over, I'm hoping. Good. So let's see here. Go here and talk with somebody. Yay. Exciting mission. It's one jump over in Obanan. I have to do manual waypointing for Karan because, obviously the mission is Calvin's. That might actually not work out so well. I don't think I'm going to be able to get up to speed before I hit the station. Some stations are a real pain in the rear to undock from. This is one of them. I love Caldari design in general, but their stations are some of the most obnoxious to undock from. Galente ones can be annoying. I don't have enough experience with Minmatar stations because I spend most of my time in Amar space. There's not many of them to get a sense on how undocking from them is. Especially with like, yeah, I did it again. In my habits, I need to break that habit to stop annoying you guys. I don't have enough of a sense of Minmatar stations to know how annoying they are to undock from. It gets really bad in like freighters and orcas, because those ships just take forever to get up to speed, and you can end up going this huge distance in those ships and run into the station or some tendril or arm of the station or whatnot before you ever actually hit warp. It's really annoying. Yeah, it's like if I really wanted to pull this off properly, I'd set it up so that I had a bookmark to immediately immediately hit warp after I leave the station at like 200 or 300 kilometers, which would be awesome, but that just doesn't happen. Such is though. Okay, so this is a dead space, so I am. Oh, wonderful. I am going to warp in first, and I'm going to assume that there's going to be hostile stuff, because that's just what happens. So yeah, we'll see what's there. God, I still remember back in the old days with the old warp effect. It looked nothing like this. I mean, Eve is the most gorgeous game I have ever played, and not only that, system requirement wise, it's nothing. I played this game on my laptop, which is a 1 gigahertz dual core AMD, and it's got a discrete graphics card in it, but it's like a rinky-dink one. There's nothing fancy to it, but it runs Eve, and not even I can run it beyond the lowest settings, which is just, it's awesome. I mean, the graphics in this game are optimized so amazingly well. It's like every company should learn how CCP does their graphics and do their graphics like CCP. Because CCP knows how to make a game absolutely gorgeous, but still make it run, and make it run really well at that too. The only reason that I get any graphical slowdown in this game ever at all is when I'm running fraps. That's it. I don't get graphical slowdown under any other circumstances. Oops. Okay, yep. I was expecting hostiles, and hey, it's hostiles. Wow. I was spot on. All right. Okay. Always try to target the frigates first, because those are always the most annoying to take out. come on, get closer so I can start. There we are. Okay. Don't have to worry anymore. Perfect. Alright, because I'll usually just launch drones and have the drones take out the frigates, just because it's really annoying. So I like to lock onto all the frigates first and take those out. Oh my, I'm actually taking a lot of damage here. I need to start taking stuff out pretty quick. Let's see. Pull up. There we go. Just in case, let's start lining up that way. I'll keep shooting stuff. Okay, no, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. It's just that initial oomph. I think. I'm a little worried about Karan since I'm taking that much damage. I gotta wonder how much Karan is taking. But I'm not too terribly worried at this point. We'll see how it goes. I've don't get me wrong. I've lost plenty of Guardians. I've lost. Oh god, yeah. Like I mentioned before, I've lost over 24 Abaddons. It gets a little crazy with me because I get cocky and it gets bad. It gets really bad. But I try to keep a good tab on things. It just doesn't always pan out that way. I'm sure you guys will eventually see me doing something insanely stupid. Like, I don't know, forgetting to turn on armor repairs. Something like that. Oh, geez, did I really put the drones on a cruiser? That was bad. There we go, solved that problem. Okay, drones, go back on that. Now, see, the problem here is that I am losing... I think I am losing standing with Galente here, and I don't want that. But I need to kill them to finish the mission, and I'm kind of annoyed with that, because I'd like to keep my Galente standing at least manageable. I mean, my Minmatar standing is actually negative. I mean, I've got diplomacy skills, so it doesn't act as if it's negative, but it's, yeah, it annoys me because I really don't want to have to grind to get my skill up just so I can travel in Empire space. It's one of the reasons I don't bother with faction warfare. I don't want to hamper my ability to travel the game universe. It's one of the reasons that I'm going for Black Ops too, because I want to travel the game universe. So, just kind of taking these guys out. Cruisers are pretty easy targets for this ship. I mean, even without my tracking computers set to boost tracking, I can easily take down cruisers with this thing. And this ship is actually really well suited for doing spider support, because it's, I mean, if you look at the fitting here, the fitting screen, it's only got 4 turret slots, but each of those turret slots does double damage. So it's basically like having 8 turrets, but I've still got these 3 extra high slots. I know that one's Tech 1. I'll eventually get that to Tech 2. I've just been a little lazy about it, because I can fit Tech 2 there. I just haven't. But yeah, it's like it's like all of those Oh god, I forgot what I was saying. Right. All of those extra high slots give it that flexibility to make it really good at providing remote support. What I'd love to do is to get Karan in a Paladin as well, and have them both remote armor repping each other, so that I could just send them both in and have them both do insane amounts of damage, and not really have to worry about the Guardian staying safe. The problem with that though is that somewhere along the line somebody's got to have a sustainable level of energy. And I'm not exactly sure how I'd want to do that. It's tricky because whoever's got the sustainable amount, the sustainable energy has to make sure the other person also has sustainable energy. So I may set it up so that they both have energy transfer arrays. I think energy transfer arrays give more than they take to move the energy, but I'll have to double check that. That might just be a special feature of the Guardian. Then I may just have to make them both cap sustainable, which will be a major pain in the rear. I really hate doing that because that cuts into my ability to deal damage and do defensive stuff. Wow, how did this guy get so far away from me? He's got to have a micro warp drive. That's the only way. Switch over to radio, and that's why I love lasers. Oh, because I was moving away from him. Duh. I might as well use conflags on this guy. So the Tech 2 frequency crystals, you have, for pulse lasers, you have conflagration and scorch. And if you remember from last episode, I actually have a large Scorch frequency crystal blueprint original, which I'm very pleased about. Though I may actually try to sell that because it's one blueprint. It'll take forever. It takes forever for me to build things. I mean, 5 runs takes a week. That's 20 rounds. That's 20 rounds. That's 20 frequency crystals. That takes a week to build. That is a huge amount of time. I do not have a week. So it might be more cost effective to build it, but it takes forever. Oh my god. So I might actually just try to sell the darn thing. See if I can get like 1 or 2 billion for it or something. I don't know. But anyways, the Tech 2 ammos, laser ammos for pulse lasers, Scorch and Conflagration. Conflagration is the damage dealing one. It'll bump me up over 1,000 DPS, which is respectable. But it kills my tracking. It cuts my tracking in half. So let's see, what is my tracking normally? Yeah, so I could counteract that effect if I switched everything over to, yay, the exciting music, and there's nothing exciting going on. I could counteract that if I switched everything over. Okay. So I see every marker thing. I guess I just moved towards the outpost. What was I saying? Oh, jeez, I hate it when I interrupt myself like that. Oh yes. So Conflag is awesome damage, but it kills my tracking. So I would never use it on frigates, and I'm even skeptical of using it on cruisers, just because it hurts my tracking so badly. And my range is actually rather poor if I don't have these things, if I don't have the tracking computers set to boost range. I mean, it's not horrible, it's just, I could do a lot better. Scorch, on the other hand, it also hurts my tracking, but only by 25%, only a 25% penalty to my tracking. So it's good to use with cruisers. And one of the nice things is that it's got great range. It has the damage output of multi-frequency with a range just a little bit less than radio. So I can, yeah, so like here with Scorch, I have a range of optimal at 63 and fall off at 82. Radio gets a little bit longer, so 67 and 86, but look at the damage per second, 342 compared with Scorch at 753. It's almost twice the damage for almost the same range. So, of course, Scorch is a consumable, and radio is not. So I don't tend to use the Scorch too often. Now, Conflag is 1,055 damage per second, but look at the range, 21 optimal fall off of 40. And multi-frequency, same range, and damage is 822. So I tend to prefer switching between multi-frequency and radio just because they're not consumable, and they don't take forever to build, and I'm not, basically consuming my resources. So, oh man, that's 40 some odd clicks away. Jeez. Is there something else I'm supposed to be doing here? I mean, no, there's nothing else here. There's just this outpost. And yeah, wow, that's actually one object. That's okay. That's actually kind of cool looking. Huh. See, this is like a shield generator or something. Such as, wish I could have something that looked like that. Anyways, so, but yeah, the Tech 2 ammos are really interesting stuff because, the timer is going off. That's what that sound was. Whenever you have some sort of a timer going off, God, I forgot what the formal title of them is. You get that sound, which is kind of nice, but I'm still getting used to it. So, just make sure I haven't completed the mission or something. Okay. Okay, let's see if that completed the mission for me. No, I'm not going to be. Yeah, that completed the mission. Awesome. I'm not going to be reading off the mission stuff. That's too much. I mean, I'll do that with other games, but not with Eve. Not with Eve. Okay, where? Navigation. Oh, good. It's not in line with the station. Thank God. I really hate it when that kind of stuff is in line with the station. It's like I have to maneuver around the station in order to get at it, and So warping off. Ooh, actually got a respectable amount of ISK, and I'll get even more when I finish this mission. Right, because the last mission was 15 mil. This one, I don't think I get a 15 mil reward for. 5 mil, not too bad, and an extra 1.8. So, not that bad. I think I'm about halfway through. I think I've got about 6 or 7 more missions to do. The reason I'm doing this is because when you complete the Caldari epic mission arc, you get a faction mobile laboratory, which is just awesomely amazing. I mean, I'm an industrialist, so anything that has to do with like production and stuff, like a mobile lab, is just drool, Yeah. Take a look at my productions here. Yeah, you can see I've got some Tech 2 frequency crystals going, Conflag and Aurora L's and Gleam S's. Karan can only build the small ammos, of the small laser ammos right now, so her skills aren't up to it quite yet. I'll have her building the mediums eventually, just because I don't have enough blueprint copies for the smalls at the moment. I'll have to work on that. But yeah, I eventually plan on getting Karan able to build and research all of it. It's gonna take forever, but you know, I mean, I trained Calvin up with like his 112 million skill points, and Karen's got 43 million, mostly in skills that support what I'm doing already. So, okay, let's finish off this mission. Great, complete, and let's see what's next. Okay, what do we have next? Go to the next agent. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, so this is just going somewhere new. Set destination. Ah! Alright. Let's take a look at the route. Always like to get a look at the route. I have it set to ships destroyed in the past hour. Oof. What is that, Galente space? I just finished blowing up Galente Navy vessels. Sheesh. I should be fine. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any real dangerous systems on the route. It's like systems like this. 27 ships destroyed in the last hour. 26, 18. I'd want to avoid those. But it doesn't look like I've got too many systems like that on the route. So, and then the system is Josameto. So I need to get Karan set up to head out there as well. And okay. Going to undock and start getting both of them out there. So, and let's see, is this there? That's also in line with the station. Get that moved. I mean, at least it's not too much maneuvering that I have to do. Some stations, there's just this insane amount of maneuvering I have to do in order to get a good lineup with the gate that doesn't intersect with like some tendril of the station. So at this point, I'm going to cut it out and bring it back in at the next station. I may actually decide to make this a new video, just depending on how long this segment has been. So, yeah, we'll see. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit, or if something interesting happens on the way, I'll see you guys shorter than it takes for me to get there. All right.